what's up?
Baby, let's go.
Turn your TV on. Listen to DBS on Digicel TV Channel 50 and Flow TV Channel 951.
It's a Bantan in the building, baby. Not on my head. You changing your station tonight. You must be crazy. Keep it locked to DBS Radio.
DBS News. Fresh in the morning. Eye-opening and balanced. The DBS Morning News starts right now.
This morning's headlines: the chairman of the Public Service Commission, Ambassador Phelix Gregoire, has called for an end to character assassination via social media. In news from the region this morning, heavy rains caused widespread damage in Haiti. And on the international scene, the U.S. President Donald Trump has landed in Saudi Arabia for the first major diplomatic trip of his second term. Good morning, I'm Gavin Richards with the DBS Major Morning News. The details right after this.
And the results for the best evaporated milk is in. Distinction evaporated milk is 100% pure milk. Distinction milk is a fantastic source of calcium, protein, and essential source of vitamins A and D and other nutrients. The great news is that Distinction milk has no added ingredients and no preservatives. Always fresh, always pure, always rich. Now available in 2 sizes. 170 grams and 410 grams. Distinction evaporated milk is perfect for the family to enjoy no matter how you choose to serve it. Distinction milk is always wholesome and always nutritious. For healthy bones and better immune system, choose Distinction evaporated milk. Distributed by Fine Foods and available island-wide.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe.
DBS News.
Welcome back. First up in the news this morning, Chairman of the Public Service Commission and former Cabinet Secretary Ambassador Phelix Gregoire has called for an end to what he calls character assassination via social media. Ambassador Gregoire told the Discoveries program on DBS on Sunday that disunity caused through social media is hurting the country.
The disunity we have in this country is something we have to resolve. We need to unite more. And I believe social media is creating a problem. You should not have a story on a matter and people not dealing with the matter, dealing with the persons. They're going after the person. They are assassinating the people who they believe they should assassinate. Under all kinds of fake names, cowards under fake names, bringing down Dominicans like them for no reason, under false name. They are cowards. I'm repeating that. You have to be a coward to sit down on a pen a thing and call people X, Y, and Z, and they don't know it's you, so they cannot even defend themselves. It is not fair for a person to stay somewhere under whatever name and call people names like that on social media, and for a platform to allow it, it is wrong. If you are serious and you want change, you should put your name. Because we always believe we are right. So what I'm trying to say is the people may believe they're right, but they're not right. I am hearing people saying certain things, and they did wrong. I don't believe we should continue that in Dominica. But we should find a system where people can make their suggestions, people can criticize, but do it in a way to help the country, not to bring down people.
Ambassador Gregoire also advised people in management positions to show appreciation to staff members.
I remember when I used to be Secretary of the Cabinet and I had meeting the PSCs, I used to tell them, we will not be permanent secretaries forever. And when we are not a PS and we are walking down the road, we should not be having our heads buried in the sand or looking down when we see somebody. We should be going down with our heads up in the air because we have done a fair day's work, even if we don't get the fair day's pay. I worked with a lot of people over the years, and there were times I could not do anything if my staff did not contribute. You cannot do it alone. You need your staff to work with you. And if you need your staff to work with you, you must treat them well. I appreciate the persons I work with. One or two people I had to discipline. I had no choice. But generally, I did my best to work with everybody.
And that was Chairman of the Public Service Commission and former Cabinet Secretary Phelix Gregoire. Outgoing Chair of the Council for Foreign and Community Relations, Dr. Vince Henderson, says the only way the Caribbean community can survive is to remain independent in decisions of national policy. Dr. Henderson made the remarks while addressing a ceremony for the 28th meeting of the Council for Foreign and Community Relations in St. Kitts and Nevis. The two-day high-level forum brought together regional foreign ministers to engage in critical discussions.
But we need to ensure that we determine for ourselves what are the things that define us as a community, so that when we interface with third countries, we are not scouring for ideas and seeking to appeal to people because of their own agendas. And what I want to say on this is the changes we've noticed in the world. We've seen Europe shifted slightly. Europe would not put anything before us without seeking to advance certain rights, certain agendas rather. But we've seen a shift in Europe from a very, very liberal agenda to one that is moving more to the right. We've seen the United States of America as well shifted almost totally. And I'm saying this to say that unless we determine for ourselves who we are and what we stand for, periodically we will find ourselves shifting, seeking to meet the demands of some capital in the world or some agenda in the world, whether it's on the LGBTQ rights, whether it's on human rights in terms of what we consider to continue to have on our statute books, the death penalty, for example. There are a number of issues that are being driven by agendas based on who is in government in a major capital of the world. And we seem to be very happy to dance to their drums and to seek to please them. The only way we can survive as a Caribbean civilization, as a community, is for us to define for ourselves the things that are important to us, that are worth fighting for, that we'll always stick to no matter who sits in which capital, and to continue pushing forward for the benefit of our people, our Caribbean people.
And that's the outgoing Chair of the Council for Foreign and Community Relations, Vince Henderson. The Dominica Music Awards will now be held at a new date. The announcement from Cultural Ambassador Leroy Wadix-Charles.
From the soul of Dominica to the stages of the world, the Dominica Music Awards is evolving. The 2025 Dominica Music Awards has been postponed. And I must reiterate, not paused, but postponed. Why? because we are building something bigger, bolder, and truly global. Creole Handbit, in partnership with Cultural Ambassador Leroy Wadix Charles, is presently in active discussions with the government of Dominica and international stakeholders to elevate the awards into a world-class celebration of Dominican music and culture. With partners in Guadeloupe, New York, and Paris, we are crafting a platform that honors icons like Ophelia Marie, Chubby Mac, Gordon Anderson, and new Creole talent to global audiences. This is more than just an event. It's a cultural movement, blending heritage, creativity, tourism, and international appeal. To our committed and prospective sponsors and other partners, you are the heartbeat of this journey. We will be actively engaging you, and your support brings Dominican music to the world. The artists, entertainers, music professionals, music practitioners, and music lovers, you are the spinal cord of this historic cultural expedition. Creole Handbit, Dominican music, global stage, blessed love.
And that was Cultural Ambassador Leroy Wadix Charles. Dominica's top young reader will be named when the grand finals of the DBS Radio Phelix Henderson National Reading Competition takes place tomorrow. 10 students will compete at the St. Alphonsus Parish Hall from 2:30.
The grand finals of the 2025 DBS Radio Phelix Henderson National Reading Competition, headline sponsored by Dragon Windows, will take place this Wednesday, May 14, 2025, at the St. Alphonsus Parish Hall. There will be 10 finalists who will compete for the ultimate prize of Best Reader. Amelia Roll from Ben's Primary, Kaylee Paris, Lighthouse Christian Academy, Kira David, Ebenezer SDA, Malik Smith, Petit Savin Primary, Ades John Baptist, St. Luke's Primary, Kiara John, Sinico Primary, Amelia Debon, Roosevelt Douglas Primary, Sani Laville, Pioneer Preparatory, Imani Privo, San Sauver Primary, and Jaid Walsh from the Berean Christian Academy. Competition kicks off at 2:30 p.m.
And that's coordinator of the DBS Radio Phelix Henderson National Reading Competition, Kashina Joseph. Meantime, this year's finals will include a new twist as 3 staff members from the National Cooperative Credit Union will compete to find the best reader at the NCCU.
Of course, we will be joined by staff members of NCCU who will be engaging in the finals of their NCCU tries, the DBS Radio Phelix Henderson National Reading Competition. The finalists for NCCU are Nicole George, Samin Daru, and Naira Remy. They will be reading in 3 rounds at a competition on Wednesday: Finance News, NCCU News, and Sports News. The winner of the NCCU tries will be via a public poll, as was done with the semi-final round. We encourage all our supporters and listeners to tune in on Wednesday via DBS Radio social media platforms, YouTube and Facebook, as well as our radio frequencies, to hear our students read in the grand finals. As customary, DBS Radio will treat the finalists, who will be accompanied by a parent or a representative from the school, to lunch, where we will also have our dipping ceremony taking place, where the students will choose the number at which they will read at the finals.
Coordinator of the DBS Radio Phelix Henderson National Reading Competition, Kushina Joseph. And happening today, where the Dominica Association of Teachers, they will be holding their primary school spelling bee competition at the Goodwill Parish Hall. And of course, that will be carried live on DBS Radio from 9 o'clock this morning. You can catch it live on the 88.1 FM frequency and also on our social media platforms. And President of the Dominican Nurses Association, Nurse Joanna Laura Blaise, says nurses are the backbone of a country's healthcare system. Her remarks as Dominica joined in the observance of International Nurses Day under the theme Caring for Nurses Strengthens Economies. Nurse Laura Blaise says it is the responsibility of every Dominican to create a healthier and secure workforce for nurses.
The Dominican Nurses Association call on the government and the private sectors, Dominicans here and abroad, to assist the nurses in their endeavors. Let's act on this year's nurses theme. Caring for nurses strengthens economies. Yes, nurses are the backbone of healthcare. They work tirelessly, often in challenging conditions, to safeguard lives and promote health. Yet, far too often, their own well-being is overlooked. Today, we must recognize that caring for nurses is not just a moral responsibility, it's an economic necessity. A healthy and secure nursing workforce is critical to the functioning of healthcare systems. When nurses are supported, given fair wages, assisted with transportation, provided with adequate staffing, offered mental health resources to include meeting their main goals, these will no doubt contribute to the delivery of high quality care.
And that was President of the Dominica Nurses Association, Nurse Joanna Laura Blaise. Well, let's head into news from the region this morning as the United Nations says that heavy rains over the past few days have caused widespread flooding, damaging homes, crops and vital infrastructure in Haiti's Nord-Est department. Well, Stéphane Durac, the spokesperson for the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, said that more than 4,300 families have been affected. Key roads are also damaged, hindering access to affected communities. While no fatalities have been reported, local authorities are warning that river levels remain high and weather conditions remain unstable. And on the international scene, the U.S. President Donald Trump has landed in Saudi Arabia for the first major diplomatic trip of his second term. The U.S. President was greeted on the tarmac by the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Trump is hoping to secure significant new investments in the 4-day trip to Saudi Arabia, Qatar and the UAE. Trump also made Saudi Arabia the first major visit of his first term, breaking with tradition of U.S. presidents visiting the United Kingdom, Canada or Mexico. Well, that's the news. Let's recap the headlines. The chairman of the Public Service Commission, Ambassador Phelix Gregoire, has called for an end to character assassination via social media. Heavy rains caused widespread damage in Haiti. And on the international scene, U.S. President Donald Trump has landed in Saudi Arabia for the first major diplomatic trip of his second term. That's the news. Stay tuned for sports.
Soft weave bathroom tissue, napkins, and paper towels are the perfect choice for your home. Manufactured with virgin fibers, it's the quality that you and your family deserve. New Soft Weave Total Hygiene bathroom tissue is produced at high temperatures to remove microorganisms. It's pH controlled to protect your skin and produced with UV light disinfection to eliminate bacteria and viruses, providing maximum protection. Soft Weave, distributed by Fine Foods Inc. and sold island-wide.
Soft Weave, quality, affordability, manufactured with you in mind.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Just Mobank me. Here's my ID.
Just Mobank me. It's that easy.
The faster, easier way to bank.
NBD makes it easy to bank online, anywhere, at any time with Mobanking. The faster, easier way to bank.
The faster, easier way.
So transfer funds on Mobanking.
The faster, easier way.
To pay your bills with Mobanking.
The faster, easier way.
So order checks on Mobanking.
The faster, easier
Pay employees on Mobanking.
The faster, easier way to bank.
Plus, you can now top up your phone on Mobanking. No need for cash or card. Simply log into Mobanking to top up your phone. Visit nbdominica.com or follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more details.
The faster, easier way to bank.
NBD.
Your partner, your bank.
Well, welcome to the morning sports. Let's begin with track and field news. Olympic gold medalist Thea Laffour-Godson will set her eyes on the one major world event that has eluded her so far in her career as she begins her quest to win the Diamond League this weekend. Thea Laffour-Godson is among some of the top Caribbean athletes set to compete at the event. The Jeddah Doha Diamond League gets underway on Friday. In total, 45 Olympic and world champion medalists will compete in the competition. While the women's triple jump is set for Friday, and Laffour is entering the competition as the number 2 ranked jumper in the world. Thea had her first competition of the year back in March, where she placed 4th in the World Indoor Championships in China. It was her first competition following a successful procedure on her knee after last summer's Olympic Games, where Thea Laffour-Godson managed a 4th place finish while battling a case of food poisoning. So like we said, she will compete in the women's triple jump of the Jeddah Doha Diamond League, and that gets underway on Friday. Let's bring you some cricket news as Cricket West Indies President Dr. Kishore Sharlo says he's not fazed by a recent move by the Guyana Happy Eagles players Veerasamy Permaul and Kevin Anderson to take Cricket West Indies to court over ball tampering charges. The two players have filed an application in the High Court of Guyana seeking to clear their name after they were hit with level 2 breaches of Cricket West Indies Code of Conduct in their final round match against Trinidad and Tobago in the recently concluded West Indies Championship. While they have received the full backing of the Guyana Cricket Board, which heavily criticized the actions of the umpires and the match referee involved. However, Dr. Sharlo says that Cricket West Indies has a strong case. Dr. Sharlo says that the players admitted and accepted responsibility after the charges were laid against them. And he also said that they signed the relevant documents. Well, Guyana were crowned regional champions, but the ball tampering incident remains a major talking point in regional cricket. In some more cricket news this morning, where there are 2 matches on as the Sports Division Secondary Schools Under 15 cricket competition continues this morning. At the Benjamin's Park, the Dominica Grammar School will battle the Portsmouth Secondary School, while at the Londonderry Playing Field is the Northeast Comprehensive coming up against the St. Mary's Academy. There are also 3 matches on this afternoon in the Sports Division Secondary Schools Under 14 netball competition. 3 games at the Windsor Park. Wesley High School will battle the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School. The Northeast Comprehensive B team will play the Castlebrook Secondary School, and the Northeast Comprehensive A team will battle the Portsmouth Secondary School. Let's go back to cricket news as the veteran cricket commentator Ozzie Lewis says Virat Kohli's contributions to Test cricket will be missed. The Indian superstar announced his retirement from Test cricket yesterday. Kohli played some 123 Test matches, scoring 9,230 runs at an average of 46. Kohli, in a post on social media, said he never imagined the journey this format would have taken him on, saying it has tested him, shaped him and taught him lessons.
Virat Kohli certainly will go down in history as one of India's finest. I mean, when you think of Sachin Tendulkar and one or two other big names, Kohli has to be right up there, especially in one-day cricket. I mean, he had over 50 centuries in ODI cricket and about 34 or so in Test cricket. So he was really a substantial batsman, captain for quite a few years, and he still packs a big punch. As I said, he has to go down in history, one of India's finest batsmen. And India has produced a plethora of great batsmen, and Kohli must be among the top 5 or 6 of all time, at least playing for India. And so he should feel quite assured that his name will go down, will be etched in history. So he has made his contribution, and he'll continue in the white ball game. So we'll still have Kohli around. So he has been a thorn in the flesh of many, an attack for so many years. And once again, I want to say, well, he has done very well, and history will record his greatness.
And that's the veteran cricket commentator Ozzie Lewis. Meantime, Lewis feels that the West Indies should go with Joshua Da Silva as the next West Indies Test captain. Da Silva is among 6 players reportedly shortlisted for the vacant position of captain.
Think of the captaincy of West Indies cricket and the cricket of West Indies in general. I mean, right now you're scraping the barrel to get reasonable candidates to captain. West Indies, one of the greatest teams ever, certainly in the 1970s to 1990s, and people like John Campbell, and there's some spinner you mentioned from Barbados, Warwican. No, I guess this guy is at all as having any claims to be captain. I think of the lot mentioned, 5 of them, I think Da Silva, to me, seems the most mature, the most level-headed, and I think he would be my choice for among the 5 they have as running. I think Joshua Da Silva, I think, would get the edge, in my opinion.
Veteran cricket commentator Ozzie Lewis. Meantime, an announcement on the new captain for the West Indies team is expected to be made sometime this week. Joshua Da Silva, Tevin Imlach, John Campbell, Jomel Warwican, Ruston Chase and Justin Graves have all been interviewed for the job. Cricket West Indies President Dr. Kishore Sharlo has expressed confidence in the ongoing selection process, highlighting its comprehensive and structured nature. Dr. Sharlo confirmed the timeline for the crucial appointment, and he's saying that the selection process, described as rigorous, is marking a new approach for Cricket West Indies in identifying leadership candidates. The assessment panel conducting the interviews comprises the Director of Cricket, Miles Bascom, Cricket West Indies Cricket Committee Chairman Enoch Lewis, the Head Coach Darren Sammy, and the CEO Chris Darren. However, the final recommendations for the captaincy role will be put forward by Miles Bascom and Darren Sammy. Staying with cricket news this morning, the IPL 2025 will resume on the 17th of May and end on the 3rd of June as the BCCI announced a revised schedule yesterday. The remainder of the tournament, which was suspended on the 9th of May for a week due to cross-border tensions between India and Pakistan, will be played at 6 venues. The delay of the IPL, which was originally scheduled to end on the 25th of May, means it will now coincide with the entire ODI series between England and the West Indies, which starts on the 29th of May in Birmingham and ends on the 3rd of June at the Oval. Well, this will lead to a clash for the West Indies players Romario Shepherd, Shamar Joseph and Shufrin Rutherford. All of them have been picked in the one-day international team, where we'll have to wait to see what sort of decision that Cricket West Indies will make as it relates to these 3 players who will still have engagements in the IPL as the West Indies will begin their series with England. And we can end with some dominoes this morning, as Ailey Boys were among the winners as the Macpherson Stout Big W National Domino League continued on the weekend. League PRO Lester Guy has a roundup of the weekend's action.
Twilight Brutal Force defeated Roslyn Eclipse 2,506 to 1,973. A much anticipated Yamaha Early Boys versus Golden Arms, where Early Boys got the better of Golden Arms 2,501 to 1,907. Bearers Knight won over Matrix 2,508 to 1,851. While Incas Pause 2 defeated Tong Oyo Stars 2,506 to 2,288. Element Agency Storm continue on their winning streak against No Name 2,518 to 1,867. Harmony New Block in quite a spicy encounter won over One Pot Hunters 2,512 to 2,418.
That's the league PRO Leicester Guy. And some other results from the weekend: Skills, Cindy One Love, and Warriors are also among the winning teams.
Skills got the better of Siwo King Blasters 2,530 to 2,334, while Cindy One Love from Tarish Pit won over Berridge New Westbridge 2,506 to 1,982. Warriors defeated Roadside 2,513 to 2,358, while Brigadier Stars won over Fish Hunters 2,515 to 1,564. Sherman Boston Public Enemies took advantage of non-players and won by 1,000 plus points, 2,521 to 1,291. Rodney Rock Jimit lost to Underground 2,513 to 2011.
And that's the league PRO Leicester Guy. Well, there were also wins for Baghdad and C Plus Denver as well on the weekend. That will take us to the end of the DBS Morning Sports Report. More sporting highlights for you during the course of the day. Remember, look out for the Spelling Bee competition, which is being organized by the Dominica Association of Teachers. That will be carried live at 9 o'clock this morning on DBS Radio. So until then, I'm Gavin Richard saying good morning and thanks for listening.
Just Mobank me. Here's my ID.
Just Mobank me. It's that easy.
The faster, easier way to bank.
NBD makes it easy to bank online, anywhere, at any time with Mobanking. The faster, easier way to bank.
The faster, easier way.
So transfer funds on Mobanking.
The faster, easier way.
To pay your bills with Mobanking.
The faster, easier way.
So order checks on Mobanking.
The faster, easier
Pay employees on Mobanking.
The faster, easier way to bank.
Plus, you can now top up your phone on Mobanking. No need for cash or card. Simply log into Mobanking to top up your phone. Visit nbdominica.com or follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more details.
The faster, easier way to bank.
NBD.
Your partner, your bank.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
DBS News. Accurate, up-to-date, professional. We bring you the news of the nation via 3 newscasts, Monday to Saturday at 7 a.m. The DBS Major Morning News, 1:15 p.m. Your lunchtime news bulletin, and at 6 in the evening, the DBS